Before Zinedine Zidane became the player Carlo Ancelotti described as someone who combined elegance and effectiveness like no other midfielder in history, a genius on and off the ball. He was a boy born in 1972 in La Castellane, a marginalised suburb of Marseille, shaped by his Algerian immigrant parents and the demands of street football. Rising from AS Cannes at 17 to his national team debut in 1994 and delivering France's victory in the 1998 World Cup and in Euro 2000, Zidane scored 31 goals in 108 appearances and won the Ballon d'Or, only to see his career defined just as much by the infamous 2006 headbutt that exposed the human strain behind sporting genius, restored his place atop football. Yet his story, a legacy of over 125 club honours, remains entangled in questions of resilience, discipline, and public scrutiny. In tracing these extremes, what does Zidane's journey reveal about the pressures and possibilities facing the modern athlete? Zinedine Zidane was born in June 1972, the youngest of 5 children, in La Castellane, a dense housing estate on the northern edge of Marseille. His parents, Smail and Malika, had left Algeria nearly 2 decades earlier, seeking stability in France, but finding only modest means. Their cramped apartment could not fit the entire family at a single table, and Smail's night shifts as a warehouseman kept him away for much of Zidane's childhood. Outside, the neighbourhood was marked by unemployment, crime, and a sense of exclusion from the rest of the city. Yet for Zidane, the concrete square, known as Place Tartane, became both playground and proving ground. Children improvised matches between parked cars, learning to shield the ball from both rivals and the unforgiving terrain. In this environment, Zidane's technical skill and composure began to take shape. These were qualities honed not by privilege, but by necessity. The discipline demanded at home and the creativity required on the street forged a temperament that would later define his style on the world's biggest stages. At 17, Zidane signed his first professional contract with AS Cannes, stepping onto the field as a teenager whose technique already set him apart. By 1992, he moved to Girondins de Bordeaux, where his vision and control began attracting attention beyond France. Over 4 seasons, he made 179 appearances and scored 39 goals, guiding Bordeaux to the 1995 UEFA Cup final. The national team soon called. Zidane debuted for France in 1994, marking the start of a new era. His rise accelerated. 2 goals in the 1998 World Cup final delivered France its first title, earning him the Ballon d'Or that same year. Euro 2000 brought another major triumph. By the end of his international career, Zidane had scored 31 goals in 108 matches for France. His influence cemented among football's elite. Fame, however, brought new pressures and expectations. In the 110th minute of the 2006 World Cup final, with the score locked at 1 apiece, Zinedine Zidane turned to face Marco Materazzi after a brief exchange. Without warning, Zidane drove his head into Materazzi's chest, sending the Italian defender to the ground. Referee Horacio Elizondo, alerted by the 4th official and the linesman, halted play. After a short consultation, Elizondo issued Zidane a straight red card, ejecting him from what would be his final match for France. The decision was clear and immediate. leaving Zidane to walk past the World Cup trophy on his way to the tunnel. In the days that followed, FIFA's disciplinary commission reviewed the incident. Zidane received a 3-match international ban and a fine of 7,500 Swiss francs, which he served through community service since he had already retired from international football. The official sanctions brought a swift and public consequence, closing a legendary career on a moment of controversy. Headlines circled the globe within hours, each framing the incident as more than a mere lapse. It was for many the collapse of a national icon. French newspapers like L'Equipe ran front pages declaring fall of a hero, while international outlets debated whether passion or professionalism should define greatness. Commentators dissected every detail, replaying the footage and scrutinising Zidane's body language for clues. Analysts questioned how a player so revered for composure could unravel under pressure, pointing to a history of provocation and red cards. Sports psychologists weighed in, suggesting the moment reflected deeper struggles, tensions rooted in his upbringing, the demands of representing both France and his family's heritage, and the relentless weight of expectation. Critics accused Zidane of failing in his duty as captain, while others defended him, arguing that provocation in high-stakes matches exposes even the most disciplined. The public verdict fractured along lines of empathy and condemnation, transforming a single act into a debate about identity, pride, and the burden of genius. The scrutiny was unyielding, forcing Zidane's legacy into a new, uncomfortable light. Zidane's return to football came not as a player, but as a manager at Real Madrid. In January 2016, he took charge of a squad in turmoil and, within months, delivered a European title. 2016, 2017, and 2018, a feat unmatched in the modern era. His win rate hovered near 68%, and his approach in the locker room was marked by quiet authority and careful squad rotation, earning the trust of high-profile players. The cumulative tally of his career honours, now exceeding 125, reflects not only longevity but also adaptability. Zidane's leadership style, blending tactical clarity with personal empathy, transformed skepticism into admiration and set a new standard for success in elite management. Carlo Ancelotti once said that Zidane combined elegance and effectiveness like no other midfielder in history, a genius on and off the ball. Yet analysts argue the incident in 2006 exposed the human cost of greatness. Zidane's influence endures in today's game, shaping how players balance skill, mental resilience, and relentless scrutiny. Zidane's journey, from La Castellane to 31 international goals, the 1998 Ballon d'Or, and 3 Champions League titles, reminds modern footballers of one truth. Genius, as Ancelotti said, is forged through both brilliance and pressure.